All right, I got to talk about this mask thing. This mask thing is out of control. It's gotten really ridiculous. People are like so attached to their mask and think that it's saving their life from everything in the world. My wife and I go hiking lately just about every weekend. And while we're out on the hiking trail, we hike on a trail pretty regularly that's a very wide trail. It's wide enough for a car to drive on, okay? And when we pass people, we notice that most people are wearing a mask out there on the trail, which already is ridiculous to me. But second, we notice that when people pass us, they'll pull their mask up, or they'll walk way over on the other side of the trail, or maybe off the trail. We're just like, I'm just like this. SMH, shaking my head, like all the time, because it's like, out of all the things that we've heard on the news about where to wear a mask, to not wear a mask, all this kind of stuff, I mean, let's at least sort through and find some truth about the thing. Look, do masks help or not with the spread of a virus? Probably a little bit. Probably a little bit if you use them properly. Okay? But if you don't use them properly, it's not doing you much good. And it's not stopping everything from getting to you. We still have our hands, remember? Remember touching surfaces and touching people and all that kind of stuff? People forgot all about hands. So the first thing I want to say is the scientists, the doctors, everybody has said very clearly that out in the sun, in the heat, a virus cannot live. It's within 30 seconds it's dead, if that. Okay, so in the sun and in the heat is not a high risk place. The other thing is that if you walk on the other side of the trail from where I am, you're more than 6 feet away from me, so there's really no need for a mask. We've all been told 6 feet, or if you can't be 6 feet away, wear a mask. They say it almost every day on TV. So there's no need for a mask there. The virus isn't jumping 8 to 10 feet off of you or I onto the other person. That's assuming that either one of us even have the virus, which if we're out there hiking, there's probably a pretty poor chance of it. I mean, if you made it to this point up on the mountain, you must not be very sick. But I mean, this thing, it's not jumping from person to person. It's not the cooties or something, you know? Anyway, another thing is, as I said, a lot of these days we've gone have been hot, like really hot. Like some of these days got to 100 degrees. We went early enough in the morning that it wasn't that hot at that time, but it was on its way there. It was hot. And so hiking up on a mountain when it's hot with the sun beating down on you with a mask on your face just doesn't seem wise to me in any circumstances. It can't be good for you. And then another side note that my wife and I just think about this whole mask thing when you're hiking is to walk when you walk past somebody and you pull up your mask as you go by them. It's just plain rude. It's just rude. It's like, oh, these people, oh, they have the cooties, or they have, who knows what they have. It's like so rude. And I mean, it's not like none of us are coughing or sneezing or doing anything that's going to propel any droplets to anybody, So what? It just seems like an excuse for people to be antisocial or rude, which is actually not normally the case when we're out hiking. Usually people are kind of friendly, but that's another subject. People are much less friendly in most of these situations with masks. But that's another topic for another video. So that's hiking with a mask or going for a walk with a mask. All right, now let's look at another scenario. People also in going to stores or to the bank or wherever, people are wearing the mask, but they're still touching everything. They're still touching the same self-serve checkout screen that everybody else did. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, you go to the bank and you're touching the counter where everybody else touched. I mean, but you're wearing a mask, so everything's good. Meanwhile, you're touching all this stuff and you're touching your mask, readjusting your mask all the time. So if I understand anything about germs or about viruses, either one, from what I understand, we contract viruses from touch as much as anything. And that's one of the reasons why we're told, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, right? So, but if I'm out there where hundreds of people have touched an area and I touch that area and then I touch my mask, if I understand it right, if there's viruses present there, I've taken the viruses and I've put them now right on my face, which is exactly where you don't want them to be if you're afraid of catching a virus. So do you see how this doesn't really make sense? Whereas, hey, on the flip side, when we didn't wear masks, I would go and touch everything, but I might not touch my face. I might touch my face, but I'm less likely to touch my face when I'm not wearing something on my face than when I have a mask on my face. I mean, pay attention when you're around everybody with their mask and count how many times people are touching their mask. That's counterproductive, okay? I'm not a big believer in the masks, in case you haven't noticed. But if you're going to buy into the mask and the whole idea behind it, then be wise about it. Be smart. Be consistent. Because otherwise, just take the thing off. People make me want to cuss. All right, then the last scenario, and this one might be the greatest one of all. And this is the practice that we've started to adopt now, where you go to the restaurant. Restaurants have kind of sort of opened back up here in LA. But everybody has to have outdoor seating. Whew, that's another subject. So when you go to the restaurant, most places you can go in to order food. You can go indoors to order the food, and then you have to eat outside. Or maybe you go and sit outside and a waiter or waitress comes to you and you order the food that way. But either way, when you enter the building or enter the area where they're sitting, you have to wear a mask, okay? So you wear your mask and you walk in and you sit down at your seat. And then while you're eating, of course you can't wear a mask while you're eating. So you take the mask off. It's like I saw a post about this. It's like you're in this magical force field zone where the virus can't get to you. It can't harm you. Never mind that people just sat at this table and it probably wasn't wiped down thoroughly or disinfected. And so you're in this force field area where it's like you won't get the virus here. And you eat your food, and then you have to put your mask back on if you want to go to the bathroom, or if you need to go get, a utensil or a straw or whatever. And then you come back and you take your mask off again. And then when you go to leave, you put the mask on again to leave. And it's like, why are we playing this game? It's like a charade. It's like it's just a big joke. It makes no scientific sense at all. And people will say, if you don't want to wear a mask and all this kind of stuff, well, you don't believe in science, or you don't believe the science. What science? That's not scientific. All of that I just described, that's not scientific. And then the funny part is, the latest thing is that our governor, Gavin Newsom, he's he gave some new proclamation that we're actually supposed to wear the mask in between bites. Yeah, you heard that right. In between bites. So I sit down, I take off the mask, I take a bite of food, and I put the mask on while I'm chewing. By the way, I haven't seen anybody do that yet. Thank God. Maybe people aren't quite that stupid. So, the fun of masks. Isn't it a beautiful world that we live in? Where you are, maybe you haven't gone crazy with the mask. But here in LA, oh man, it's like if you don't wear a mask, they're going to come after you with torches and pitchforks and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, guys, that's about it for today. Have a good day, and I don't know what to say. You know, it's like be safe out there. No, that's the ridiculous thing that people say. Do your best, and have a good day. Trust God, and go forward. All right. Have a good one.